Yo, what is up, everybody? It is your boy, Agius, aka Static Shock. Welcome back to another episode of For Life Means a podcast of encouragement, perspective, and life. I am so excited to be back, man. Listen, I was going to record last week, but I was in some major pain, tooth type things. So I had to get a root canal, and I didn't think I was going to be able to talk fluently. No, not fluently. Eloquently enough to record a podcast. So here we are. So yeah, I'm glad to be back. I'm just glad to be back. But anyways. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Before I get into the meat and potatoes, I just wanted to say I appreciate all of you who watch the podcast. In this podcasting world that I'm in, it's really hard to see the growth when the numbers really aren't going up. But I'm so grateful for the people who have been telling me how the podcast has been enriching their lives. And you know who you are. It's really a blessing to be able to speak what God is speaking through me, and for it to apply to other people's lives, not only myself but to other people. And so it's been just really it's been a blessing. So although I may not be seeing the numbers that I feel like this podcast has the potential to have, that's not what it's all about. That's not what it's all about. It's about impacting the people, whether it be 1 or a million or a trillion or 25,532. All right, anyways, but yeah, today I want to talk about just having total dependency on God. But before we get into that, please like the video. And before we get into that, I already had coffee today. 2 cups actually with my homie, and quite frankly, I don't need any more. So today I'm gonna be drinking a little bit of Pellegrino, little Pellegrino. Some people don't like this, and I might get a lot of dislikes from this, but I like me some Pellegrino. So let's do a little ASMR. You hear the sizzle? Yeah, you hear the sizzle? Little Pellegrino, you feel me? So yeah, let's go ahead and cut to the music, please. Okay, welcome back. So, in this episode, I wanted to talk about having total dependency on God. And so the reason that I'm thinking about this, that I want to talk about this today, is because I was looking at certain situations in my life, and those certain situations had me pondering on whether I am living my life based on what God says or based on what other people say, or even myself. And so, I was just examining myself, and, that's one thing that we definitely should be doing, is examining ourselves. Whenever anytime I pray, usually I will try to include the line of asking God to expose the sin to us and expose the reason why we have these certain sins. And I do that because for myself, I want to be able to understand myself. And when you're able to understand the root cause of things, you become more intentional about eradicating those things that you're trying to get rid of. So I always ask God to expose me to myself and expose the reason why, the root cause of these things, because I just feel like it's just helpful. And we talk about Jesus and we talk about therapy, and oftentimes there's like this they're just attacking each other, because some people will say you only need Jesus, and some people will say but therapy though. Have you heard about therapy though? And I think I was listening to this podcast by Jackie Hill Perry and Preston Perry, and they were talking about Jesus and therapy and how they both can work for each other. They both can work with each other. There doesn't have to be this fight between these two things. They can work together. And so I was just thinking about, like, you know, we can, I feel like we can all definitely benefit from therapy. But the thing is, sometimes we try to get therapy from things that don't really help. We try to put our faith into things that don't really help. So we'll put it in our relationships. We'll put it in the things that we own. We put it in all sorts of things, and we feel like these things are helping us to grow, but they really aren't. They really aren't. At the end of the day, we should be dependent on God. Our life should flow from God. Our actions should flow from God. And so that's really what I've been thinking about recently. Like, is God flowing out of my life through my actions, through how I treat people? Is everything that I'm doing, am I trying to do it through God? And the answer is, unfortunately, the answer is not all the time. Because sometimes I'll do things based off of what I want. I'll do things based off what other people want me to do. And quite frankly, sorry about that. Quite frankly, I'm just not happy with doing that. And we really shouldn't be happy with doing that. We should always strive to have our dependency on God. So this podcast is called For Life Means. And when I'm talking about For Life Means, I'm asking myself, what does life mean? And for me, life means God. God is the person that not only gives us physical life, he literally breathed life into us, made us from clay, and breathed life through us and in us. Excuse me, that Pellegrino got me burping a little bit. But he not only physically gave us life, but spiritually, he gave us a soul. He gave us a spirit. And so the question arises, like, are we allowing God to, like, still work through that? You know, like, are we allowing God to, like, to truly lead us into the way that we should go? Because he can lead us. We can do all these physical things. We can do all of these temporary things. But what really matters is those eternal things, those things that are for your spirit. Not just, it's cool to do things for your body, and I think those things are helpful. It's helpful to eat healthy. It's helpful to work out. It's helpful to take care of your teeth, for example. It's helpful for those to do all those things. It leads to a better quality of life, and that's definitely something that we all strive for. We all definitely. I don't know anyone who's saying, "No, I'd rather my life suck." I don't know anyone who's like, I just rather have a sucky life. I'd rather have trash teeth. I'd rather have my hair be a mess all the time. I'd rather have no roof over my head. I don't know anyone. This is just personal. I don't know anyone who's just like, I'd rather my life be sucky. If you might know someone like that, you might even be a person like that. But me personally, I don't know anyone who's verbally said, I'd rather my life just be total trash. And so, yes, we all want to have a better quality of life, but I'm definitely still gonna be. I'm still gonna be doing all these things. But what I want more of is I want more God in my life. I want God to lead my life a little bit more. I want him to lead greatly in my life. But the thing is, I don't always live in such a way where God is living through me in all my actions. I don't want to be that Christian that doesn't have like total dependency on God. And so it makes me think like, okay, that's cool. Okay, me personally, I want my life to be totally dependent on God. But then you have to think, okay, your friends, they come to you for questions, for answers. They have these questions and you give them answers. Are those answers that you're giving your friends, are they dependent on, do they show that you have total dependency on God, or that you just want, you don't even like give them godly advice? Is it godly advice or is it worldly advice? And sure, there are some things in the world that, not necessarily things in the world, but things that God has exposed to the world that are true. But are you depending on this, right? Are you depending on this right now? Like, I'm not gonna even get into that part actually. But I just say this all to say that I want God to really be in my life. I had this really deep prayer session earlier because I'm just fed up with not having God be in every situation in my life. Even like in things that I don't share with people, in certain sins, like, well, of course in all sins, but I just want to be dependent on God. Is what is really all that I'm trying to say. I want to have total dependency on God. And I don't want to have to rely on other people for my life. Because we can definitely do that. We can definitely try to depend on other people for life. And no, God is life, bro. God is life. I want God. If you say that God is your life, if you say that Jesus is your Lord and your Savior, then let him be that, right? If you say that Jesus is your Lord and your Savior, he is your refuge, he is your helper, he is your friend, he is your construct of love, then let's let him be that. Because he's gonna, first of all, he's there all the time to be that anyway, but it's up to us to actually like give God that full power in our life. And so that's something that I am definitely has been on my mind. I want God to be all that I need. I want God to be all that I need because he is everything that I need. I want to give my whole life to God in every situation, in everything. I want God to be there. I want God to be in the midst of those things. And I really want that for you. You're not going to get where you need to go. Not where you want to go, but you're not going to get where you need to go without God. And so let's just aim to have our life truly dependent on God. Because in the first place, it's already dependent on God anyway. Like our physical life is dependent on God anyway, because without him, we'd be like out of here, bro. We'll be out of here. But in everything, I want God to truly be the head of my life. And it's up to me to actually make him the head of my life. Because, God he could easily take his hand off of you. You know what I'm saying? He's been protecting you. He's been doing all these things. He's been having mercy. He's been having grace. He's been having love. But he could easily take all those things. If he wanted to, he could easily take all those things away from you. And I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want that. And so I want to live as if God is truly my source. I want to live as if God is truly my source. And I want that for you too. So, yeah, that's about all that I wanted to say. Thank you so much for tuning to this episode. I love you all. Please share, please like, please comment, please subscribe. But most importantly, please share. Also, go check out the page. Go check out the website. It's got some cool stuff on there, some cool clothes that you could buy, you know what I'm saying? If you want to buy some clothes. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning to this episode. I will catch you in the next one. I'm gonna see if if we can do this every week for a bit, for a bit. Cause that's the move that I'm in right now. So yeah, I love you all. Have a great day. Great night, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, great midnight. Have a blessed one. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.